use trees, fruits, seeds to build our homes, to produce the food we eat, and to give us the energy to drive our economy. Used and residual organics are still too often carelessly discarded, while at Renewi, we are always hungry for more. This is because we know how to transform organics into the next generation of bio-based materials, nutrients, and biofuels. Valuable products our customers love to use, and that are at the foundation of a circular economy. This way we present fossil fuel emissions and keep the CO2 that the plants just captured in our economy, rather than in thin air.
Great. Thank you again, Kevin, for the coveted compliment. But before we move on to the best-looking colleagues of today, let me share with you a very attractive story about organics. So these are organics. This is what we mean with organics. We have the greens. These are the fibrous materials, like stalks and grasses. They come from horticulture or public spaces. We have food waste coming from consumers, coming from retail, and also the food industry. And then there's wood, coming from construction and demolition, like Jan Pedro shared with us, but also coming from packaging and logistics. Now, most of these organic materials, they are being discarded after only single use. And of course, that's where we, as Renewi, see opportunities to make new, valuable secondary materials. Like with our other secondary materials, they are great to help our customers avoid carbon emissions. But organics, they have another trick up their sleeves, because our organics are literally grown out of CO2. They are like solidified carbon. Now, when we turn this solidified organic carbon into long-lasting, well, for example, building materials, that is a perfect way to keep the carbon stored for a very long time. And we can do this at scale. Because in the Benelux alone, we are looking at 15 million tons, more than 15 million tons of residual organics available. So this is our inbound market. And then there's the outbound market, which is already vast, but which is also growing. Take, for example, the Dutch ambitions to have more than 3 billion cubic meters of green gas by 2030, made from residual organics. Then there's the chemical sector. Large companies like DSM-Firmenich, Henkel, BASF, they have made pledges that by 2030 they want to see 20% of renewable feedstock as an input into their production processes. And there's the construction sector. Looking for ways to reduce their environmental footprint, they are looking to bio-based construction materials. And in 2018, this market in the EU was already 45 million tons. And currently, these three sectors, fuels, chemicals, construction, they are almost frantically looking for the raw materials to fuel their ambitions. And as Renewi, we are very well positioned to take advantage of their ambitions. First of all, we have a strong coverage throughout the Benelux, where we have our sites, where we not only collect the materials, but we also pre-treat them, and we actually even convert them via, for example, fermentation processes into new raw materials. Now, this is a strong position along the value chain. It allows us to not only control the volumes that we need, but also to control the quality right from the collection up to the production of these raw materials. And we do this at an industrial scale. Already we handle annually 2 million tons of organic materials. And that allows us to connect to these high-value, high-scale, large-scale industries. We also see room for further development. Take, for example, the green materials that we have. We turn green materials into compost. We reach 100% recycling rate for this. And compost is the very valued material because they return nutrients to the soil, and agriculture loves compost. However, it's valued, it's not very valuable. But we see opportunities to increase the value per ton with other materials that we can produce from these organics. Then there's wood. Of the wood that we handle, 20% we turn it into chips that go into the production of, for example, construction boards. So 20% of our wood we now recycle. 80% of it goes into the production of bioenergy. But we see opportunities to recycle more, as well as create new products with a higher value. For food and garden, we already produce wonderful products like green gas and even advanced fuels like bio-LNG. But here, like with wood, we also see opportunities to create higher value products. And we will create this additional value with three main development routes. First of all, for compost, for greens, we will shift from producing this commodity compost product to creating functional fibers and organic fertilizers. We are now developing a chemical separation process where we can separate the fibers from the stalks and the nutrients. And then we can supply these fibers to our partners that then turn them into construction boards or even vegan leather. So these are higher value markets for our raw materials. For wood, we are developing an advanced refinement process that allows us to make a wood-based raw material product with a high purity, very low contaminations, and a precisely defined granularity. And this allows us to supply this wood product to new biorefining industries like our partner Vertoro, who turns wood into biochemicals made to used to make, for example, bio-based asphalt, coatings or biofuels. Again, high value markets that connect to our raw materials. And then there's food and garden waste, where we take it one step further. Because not only do we develop the pre-treatment processes, but together with our partners like WW and PAX, we're also developing advanced fermentation technologies that turn food waste into biochemicals that can be used to make bioplastics, ingredients for detergents or personal care products. And again, the theme continues, high value products connected to our raw materials. And it's a high value indeed, because if we combine these three development lines and we see what the combined impact will be, we are looking at doubling the revenue for our organic streams. We are looking at a revenue increase of 100 million. And this is driven mainly by the developments in food and wood, the new raw materials that we develop there, and it is driven by increasing the value per ton. But like we've been stating, it's not just about the financial impact. We also want to achieve an enormous beneficial environmental impact. And with organics we can do so. We already do this. Because with our current organic activities we already achieve carbon avoidance throughout the chain of 550 kilotons. And this will only increase. Because we're going to recycle more. Because we're going to create products with a higher carbon avoidance. And we're actually going to keep the carbon fixed in the organics. We're going to keep it stored. So that's what we're going to do, and that's the impact of organics. And with that, I'd like to give it to Kim for plastics. Thank you very much.